Hey, I'm Eric. I'm just coming here to say, The Matrix 2 was awful. Like, I just watched it twice. First time the other night when it came out, and then again right now. And I made sure to take down explicit notes how it felt for the second viewing. And it was hard. It was almost harder to watch it the second time because this is coming from a person who was such a big fan of the first movie, the second movie especially too, and people really railed on the third one, but I don't understand how, if anyone was a fan of the franchise, how you could have not liked the third one. It was completely a perfect way to wrap up the franchise. And what a great supplement Animatrix was. Talk about having collaborative ideas in a universe that was packed to the brim with potential of spin-offs. I mean, shit. It didn't have to be. It didn't have to be cheap. It didn't have to be. Should I start from the top? Should I just go over with like where? I'm just gonna start with like how the movie starts. Alright. So it starts with just how the first movie started, with a phone call over a landline, cell phone, because it's being traced just like the first movie. First movie, you see the numbers lining up and the code and shit. So you would think, if you had seen the first movie, oh, there's going to be a betrayal or something like that, if someone sold them out. No, doesn't lead to anything. And then it starts up just again as the other first movie started, with what seems like a Trinity-like character at the heart of the city hotel, and these cops are going up together, and these agent-like characters appear. But first and foremost, you see, if you have seen the trailers, Morpheus as one of the agents. So you're like, what is that supposed to mean? Why is Morpheus one of the agents? This isn't. And then once you take a closer look, you realize that's not Trinity at all in the leather get-up. She's not kicking ass. But they're treating it so. I guess we should introduce to our heroes. Okay, so the main character, the hero that's not Keanu Reeves or Trinity, is Bugs. Bugs Bunny is the captain of this new crew who actually does save Neo in this new Matrix. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but she is introduced at this point. She like hijacked herself into this whatever scene that we're watching, and her operator, Zeke, are like both just as confused as the audience is, saying, what is happening? We've seen this before. Sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. Anyways, so Trinity is being captured, just like the first Matrix. She escapes. She has the phone call again from whoever she's talking to, which should have been Morpheus, but it's not Morpheus because Morpheus is the agent that's going after her. Anyways, she's informed that agents are coming after her and she has to escape. So you would think, if anyone's seen the first movie, if there's agents coming after her and so it's urgency, you have to get the hell out of there because agents are death. You come across an agent, no one's ever lived to tell a tale. What happens? She escapes through the rooftop, and she doesn't hop across one of them, or through any windows for that matter. She gets herself cornered by a couple helicopters, and is beaten up by agents. So even the character Bugs is like, this isn't happening like it happened before, I gotta go save her, and Zeke's like, what, no? And us as the audience like, what, no? So herself gets captured and intercepted by the Morpheus agent. So again, you would think, oh shit, she's F if it's an agent, but no. She tries to shoot at it, Morpheus dodges, she loses her gun, she tries to attack it, the agent is too fast, obviously. She gets knocked back, but then instantly bounces up and does a typical Black Widow, hip around the head, takedown maneuver on this agent that, you know, is supposed to be Morpheus, we didn't know this at the time. She does something to it. Oh yeah, I forgot when they're pinned in the mid. This agent has her in a throat lock, and she just does like a simple and knocks this agent's arm out, and that's where she does. But it was really, really laughable. It was again harder to see the second time because this is a Matrix movie. So again, in the Black Widow headlock around the thighs, she does a flip on the Morpheus agent and falls in the middle of the Trinity thing. But then somehow she maneuvers a way to just escape from that. She says like one funny quip like, you guys just carry on with what you're doing, and then she literally just Scooby-Doo runs out of there. Every single agent, every single thing that's shooting shoots completely around her. Completely around. Like, I swear to God, no, if you've actually watched the movie, every single shot that fires happens. She's running in a straight line in a rooftop down in, like, every single shot. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, 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 ping. She's running in a straight line. Any sort of robot AI, I would assume, would know how to shoot at something that's not supposed to be there. She dives off the rooftop, as sure as you've seen in the trailer. I'll probably put that here. Wah. But she gets to the ground, continues to run away, does some more flashy wah here, and then she escapes into a key shop. The programs can't find her because she goes back deeper into the key shop, and that's when the Morpheus agent pulls her in through this literal key maker chasm that they introduced once. You really see it. Like, it's kind of funny how that's where the whole backwards door shit comes out from, which looked cool for the trailer, but they only used it once, which would have been way more interesting if they had to make a back door out of something like the floor, or something out of the ceiling, or something out of anything fucking else except for that. So yeah, Morpheus agent pulls her out, pulls her back into a room that he's been hiding out in himself, and he's like, hey, by the way, takes off his agent glasses, I'm Morpheus. And us, the audience, like, what? No. And she's like, oh, no way! That's so crazy! That explains nothing! I've been looking for Neo this whole time. He doesn't exist. She then offers this Morpheus program. He is an agent in this program, but he's Morpheus-ness. Like, she offers this agent Morpheus a red or blue pill. I don't understand how programs... I understand the whole thing of choice was supposed to be an illusion and thrown away, like, in the whole thing, but it was really peculiar to see that kind of choice given to a program, especially an agent, because if this agent is just so cool with this random thing that his only prerogative is to destroy sentience, then why is he, like, so slight just because he's revealed later that this agent is programmed by Neo, but it seems so, like, this isn't Morpheus in a sense, you know what I mean? So of course he takes the red pill because he gets all hazy. They're all hugging and he's wearing different sunglasses and he's like, whoa, I never worn different sunglasses before. They escape right back through the keymaker shop door. He's all trying to put up a front in front of the other agents that are looking for her, Bugs. He's like, hey, what's up, Agent Boy? And the real agent's like Agent Smith, and he just starts laughing like, yeah. And us, the audience, like, what? No. That's when Bugs comes out and they escape, and there's no phone booths anymore. High pages. They just jump out a window. Like, I thought there was supposed to be a whole extraction thing. Like, you extract the body from... So, like, how do you extract a program from the Matrix? Why does she have to extract the same way? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they even... Getting too ahead of myself. Then we're introduced to Keanu Reeves as Neo, as the one, as Thomas Anderson in this new Matrix that they introduced. And by golly, is he so sleepy in this film. Like, I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish here, but he is so timid and so... I understand he's getting up there, but have you seen John Wick? Like, he does not pull any punches there. You feel the action. Shit, man. I understand that he was being directed this way, I guess, but anyways. He is now a game designer for the Matrix trilogy. It was a video game that was adapted into a movie 3 times. And then he's like, starts having visions and shit, as we see. So he's like, I need a coffee. So he goes out to get a coffee, and Trinity's there. And this fucking dumbass assistant that he's got straight up calls her like MILF like 3 times. MILF-tastic. It's like, what the fuck? This is not how at all I want to be introduced to my heroes from this franchise that I thought was revered. Like, what the shit? What were they doing? Like, it's super awkward. They're introduced in such an awkward way. The assistant's like, hey, not Trinity. By the way, my buddy over there is like totally like, he comes over, he's like, dude, stop. And us, the audience, like, what? No. And she's like, hey, they shake hands, and it's nice like the trailer, but all of a sudden, she's got 2 kids, and her husband Chad's walking in through the door. Yeah, her husband Chad is like, hey, we gotta go pick up Percy from soccer practice. And her oldest son's like, you trying to hit my mom? Like, what the fuck is... This is not the fucking Matrix! Are we in the Matrix? Is this a fucking Matrix simulation I'm living in right now? That's why I got the shit green. It's hard. It's just... I haven't right here. This is hard to watch again. Because it was hard to watch it. It's just hard to talk about. But it's like a service that I have to do. Not only to myself, but to fucking anyone who fucking claims that this is a good movie. Because it's not. It's not. It is not a film. It is horrid. And it's hard to even believe that this was real. Like how I guess the movie wants to think it's supposed to act like. I don't fucking know. Oh man, I don't know if I should. Now we are introduced to Smith. Oh boy. Smith, one of the best movie villains. And he's replaced by fucking who knows who. Look at him. This Smith he's literally introduced saying the lines that Smith is saying to Morpheus. Millions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious. I said that line better. These are lines that were said to Morpheus, by the way. I mentioned that on purpose because fucking Neo wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. This was when Morpheus was getting interrogated. Remember at the end of the last movie? First movie, sorry. Of course they say, oh, you wrote these lines, right? Yeah, I wrote those lines. You weren't even there. How do you supposed to... Fucking Morpheus told you about this after the fact? This point also that we're introduced to the flashing between the other movies and this movie. As Durpenstein's new Smith is saying the new remastered lines, we're getting flashes of the other film. Literally. It's not even done subtly. It is really plastered right in front of your face. Green hue and all. Like, it's almost like they forgot the fucking remastered versions where they took away that green hue. This Smith sucks and begins to mock the audiences by saying that the corporations want to make a fourth film on the video games that they're making in this new Matrix film. So therefore, they have to cooperate and make a fourth game. I don't know if they were like trying to be funny or be like coy. If we call out first, the audience can't. But they literally like lay it out like, you know, it's against our will and we better cooperate or else. So we're gonna shut down work on our current game, Borderlands or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, we're gonna make Matrix 4. I am not shitting you. I am not shitting you. I am not shitting myself that this actually happened in this film. It's really hard. It's really fucking hard. So, now we're introduced to MPH. Neil Patrick Harris is playing the analyst, who is a therapist that is assigned to Neo Thomas Anderson because he was the parent suicide survivor. Can I even say that? Who thought he could fly. Literally, all Neil Patrick Harris has to do is just listen to him ramble on, thinking about he's crazy, even though they're not allowed to use that word in there, and then he goes right back to his merry old life, developing Matrix 4. Shit, I would need therapy for this next part. It cuts to all of these developers who I bet never even seen any of the Matrix film, and they start talking about all of this, that, and the other things, spitting off ideas of how to make this Matrix 4 movie, and I bet it's about like, it's about this, it's about that, it's about drive, it's about power, it's about hunger, and devour. Then the song from the trailer starts playing, the Alice song, and it's like, I thought this was only reserved for the trailer. Why is it playing in the movie? See Keanu all sad and shit again. It's like, he's literally sleeping through this. You see him, he's just so, like, I understand he's supposed to be a zombie in this part, but he's in it the whole thing. Seriously. Oh, and then like the biggest revolutionary thing that came from the Matrix was existentialism, franchisability, trench coat. No, bullet time. Bullet time. Say it. Bullet time. One word. Bullet time. No, Blade did it first. Probably done before that. It might have been parodied by plenty of people parodied the Matrix because of its bullet time. It didn't trademark it. Sorry, I'm just... So Neo and Trinity discussed over coffee some more about this game. She like Googled them apparently. The first 3 games. You know, he made the Matrix. And she's all saying, man, I wonder if like if I was supposed to have a family, if I was just programmed that way. Did you design your characters over like someone you know? And he's like, yeah, like, you know, Neo's definitely like a lot like me. And they got to the fucking bit when he's in the architect's room, and the fucking cameras behind him were all like going off in the different variations of different ways he could have responded. By the way, check out this scene. It's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna put a little clip where he's fucking like, "You can't control me!" Fucking hilarious. Like, fucking, this is the kind of shit I wanted to, like, fucking letting loose and actually delving into this whole bit. Like, fucking, listen to the fucking directors. I'll smash this place to bits. I'll smash this place to fucking bits. Like, so yeah, they cut to that bit. So you're like, there's a little bit of the life that I'm looking for. Is that what he was designed after? I bet. I hope Keanu picked that bit. And then Trinity's like, I'm sorry, her name is Tiffany. Milfany. No way, right? And us as the audience, like, no. I don't want these characters to be reminiscing about a previous franchise over coffee in the fourth Matrix movie. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think that's too much to ask. It isn't a fucking TV sequel spin-off series where we have time to delve. By the way, this movie was 2.5 fucking hours. Like, I understand, like, movies nowadays have to be at least 2 hours and some shit because, you know, they gotta fucking milk every bit of fucking ounce of film. But whatever happened to, like, the 90-minute movie where, like, you had a beginning, a middle, and an end? Like, there was an actual arc that characters went through? Like, I don't really want to look offhand how long the other movies were. I'm sure they were long enough. But, like, I just feel like they don't earn that length time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why every movie, like fucking No Way Home, good movie, but could have not been 2 hours and fucking 17 minutes long. That's probably shaking it. I don't know exactly offhand, but I don't get it. So much stuff that did not need to be in the movie, and so much more stuff that could have been, that could have taken less time. You get more out of a little bit than you do than a whole lot of slog. You see what I'm getting at here? You smelling what I'm stepping in? I don't think... So, you move on from coffee. Morpheus shoots him a text saying, hey, you should go to the bathroom. That's not a fire alarm or whatever that's going off. So, he goes to the bathroom and he's like, Jude? And I'm like, who the fuck is Jude? Is that the fucking douchebag assistant from earlier? What the fuck are you going to the bathroom to go see him for? You should probably keep going out with everyone else. And no, what do you see? We look down, we see some freaking suede shoes come out from underneath the stall, and a yellow-ass suit guy. And who is it? What does he say? At last. Night 1, character Q, Morpheus, Night, interior. And us as the audience, like, what? No. Like he's reading off the script to Neo. Yeah, it's Morpheus. And this Morpheus. It's not Morpheus. 1, it's not Lawrence Fishburne. 2, it's not Morpheus like Morpheus. Of course, in this dialogue, unless you're explicitly paying attention, because it's really hard to kind of get what they're getting at, it's off of Neo's modal. Neo designed a modal of the Matrix as it happened, like his memory, even though a lot of it happened well before he was even there. I understand he's the one, but he's not fucking omnipotent. He doesn't know everything that happens. He knows that this Morpheus is from that modal. I'm saying modal because that's what they call it. A modal. Google modal. Tell me what the fuck modal is. Because I don't fucking know. I'm not that computer savvy. But I was thinking the whole time they were thinking of model. Like he made a model of the Matrix. So it's probably different in computer terms, so it's a modal. I actually Googled it. It's like a window that goes over top of the other windows. This window that goes over top of other windows, our character, Neo, designed in this computer game that he was designing for something else. Morpheus was born from this. This Morpheus. He's come to save him. So he tries to rip him out from the bathroom. All of a sudden, this army SWAT team comes in and starts shooting at the Morpheus, bro. Keanu Reeves just walks out of there like he's having a bad dream. He's like, this isn't real. While not Morpheus is sitting there shooting guns like this. No! I wish I was lying to you. I really do wish I was lying to this. Because I don't get it. The bathroom explodes. We see the shot from the trailer. More shooting. We got Keanu Reeves stumbling around in dirt. Fire sprinklers are going off. This isn't real. This is how we're introduced to our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Groveling around in the dirt as not Morpheus is shouting, "Neo!" Smith was his boss. Smith was like it was the boss of Neo in this new Matrix. And he comes out from his office, sees the commotion going on. He's like, "What? Huh? What? Huh? What?" Sees a pistol on the ground. Huh? What? Huh? What? This like eerie theme music that they got for him plays, where it's just a couple piano keys going ding 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 ding. Picks up the gun, looks at Neo after Morpheus again shouts to the third, "No!" And he just fucking shouts in the most lamest way, "Mr. Anderson!" I did that too good because I've seen it twice. I can almost emulate it. It doesn't sound at all commanding or authoritative. And then starts shooting at him and misses. And then, as he says that, Keanu looks at him and he's like, "No, it can't be." And us as the audience, like, what? No, it can't be. It really fucking can't be. Because what are they kidding? What were they trying to play at? It's again, after this happens, Keanu is still groveling around in the dirt, hiding, saying, "This can't be real, this can't be real, this can't be real." Like, this is what I fucking wanted. This is what I am glad I did not pay a ticket stub to see this. I just fucking decided to watch it from my HBO Max. Ooh, you would have to pull me from the movie theater. I would not be quiet. I would upset everyone around me because I was upset watching this. What happened? Groveling around, Myth comes up to him with his gun, shoots him in the head, cuts to the old movie where he was shot in the heart, and he crawls over and home back in MPH's office. The analyst is like, "Yo, what's up, Neo? I was just having a cup of tea and my cat Deja Vu heard you outside. Did you walk here?" Neo says, "Am I crazy?" MPH is like, "We don't use that word in here." But yeah. Oh, shit. Where was I? This is where Keanu starts to really make me question what the fuck he was doing in this movie, because as soon everything with that shit happens, he's on a rooftop drinking and he's going to attempt suicide again. There you go. So Keanu, after learning all that, starts drinking on a rooftop, and goes to commit suicide. Again, goes to fly. Free my mind. As he's falling off, Bugs pulls him back, explains to him, seen him before, long time ago, but he jumped the other time. He looked different, but she saw him for him, and says, "You gotta come with me, pretty much come with me if you want to live." He's like, "Okay," and they leave. You remember how nuanced the whole Keymaker shit was in the second movie? Well, they just fucking milk that cow, and they just fucking teleport anywhere they want to go. And yeah, phone booths are a thing of the past too. They can just fucking go through mirrors and glass. That's not creative. It's not interesting. Like, it was part of like the cyberpunk-ness to be like, we gotta jack in. We have to get to a broadcasting point somewhere closer to the Matrix. We could just jack in from our fucking house in Zion. Too far down. Literally, they blah blah blah, etc. 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 The first movie, when they're talking to him, trying to ease him in to taking the red or the blue pill. The new Morpheus that they got, just like, and us as the audience, like, what? No. And after hearing it, fucking Keanu just takes the red pill and just like, fuck. Like, imagine you said that in the first movie. The whole fucking nuance. Like, Matrix is everywhere. When you look out your window, and when you see it through your television, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. Imagine after all that, fucking Keanu Reeves just like, fuck? Like, come on. What the fuck is this? I don't remember the fucking F-bomb in the first movie. Seriously. So as this is happening, it doesn't go to plan, just like the first time, the whole red pill incident. Things can't just convert easily. It can't just happen like it happened in the first movie where it'd be a little bit of a fucking thing, but oh yeah, they're playing the fucking first movie in the background like at a drive-in theater or some shit. With like fucking bits and sets from the fucking first movie. Like, what the fuck is this movie? What is this movie? Okay, so, of course, like I said, it's fucking up, and as Keanu Reeves is looking through the mirror and sees his old self, he also sees Neil Patrick Harris. He's like on the other side of the mirror. He's like, oh shit. Thomas, you're having a psychotic episode through this mirror. Why don't you come to me through this mirror and we'll work it out? And Keanu Reeves is like, no, son, no. And then army people show up. Can it just be agents? Like, are agents really that stupid? I thought agents were supposed to be like an idea. Like, you're not supposed to see them, but when you do see them, you're F. I get it was like, there was like police and stuff in the first movie, but it just seems like there was no setup. There was no, I don't know, man. So they're getting ambushed in the place that they set up, so they escape through the portal that they made through the train. Yeah, that's right, they're in a train that the portal was set up. So they go through the train, and they blow it up, the people chasing them, so they don't have to wait back, so they gotta go through another way. But before they can do any of that, they gotta make sure Keanu Reeves is unplugged. So the way that they do that is they put him through a small mirror. And again, it's not interesting. It's not nuanced. Like, the mirror was not the most interesting part of the first movie. I don't know why they kept showing it. It's just because it's an easy effect to make. So they continue on, but like I said, instead of agents, they have something that they call bots. And bots are, I don't know what they classify. Good grief. I don't know what they classify these bots are, but there could just be normal people at one point watching these, trench coat motherfuckers walk right past them on a train. And then all of a sudden, because there's conflict in front of them, their eyes turn black with the matrix grid, and they become like zombies. Start going. It's a swarm mode that apparently the analyst has made. It's so bad. It's literally so bad. I just wish I could they're literal zombies. Like, I don't know how else to describe them, because that's how they're treated. Like, I don't know how they even know who's a zombie and who's not. They just shoot everyone? Is there people that are really trying to escape from this? You know what I mean? Like, is anyone who witnesses this going to instantly turn into a bot? There's no really real rules classified in this. They just kind of say things and then hope we kind of fill in the gaps ourselves, or just take what they say for granted. Not for granted, but for gospel. It's, like I said, it's really weird. It was way better when it was classified as agents, because you knew if there's a policeman shooting at you, yeah, you're gonna have to take that chance. You're gonna have to be a little bit of a dark side, like, oh, I gotta survive here. But when it's, as far as we know as the audience, and as far as these characters are concerned, I guess, is if they're in bot mode, they're done for. Kill them. This brings up a whole fucking new legion of questions and answers in this lore that we're supposed to apparently go by, and they just fucking throw it all down the toilet for this new thing. But that just seems to be happening a lot in this fucking new franchise. So, good. So like I said, as this whole entire conflict is happening on this train, they gotta get Neo through an extraction point so he can be unplugged from wherever he's at, because he took the red pill. So they find something inside a little cramped ass bathroom where he's gotta go through this tiny mirror and seek their operators, like, just take perspective, smaller, bigger, smaller, whatever. Neo literally shove him through that tiny ass mirror, and because it's bigger to him when he gets bigger to it, and he pushes his way out through the pod that he's in. And sure enough, this is the big reveal that everyone was waiting for. He did shave off everything that he did. He shaved off all his head and beard. I don't know if it was definitely didn't seem like to me like a wig cap or anything. It was all gone. And it was more or less like the first movie. I think the first one was better, but just me. But yeah, plugs and everything. He got unplugged. Big old bot came over and did the whole thing behind his head, scooped him up, and yeah, it was something. It was as I described. Like I said, it was more or less like the first movie. He was in a pod in a big old chamber. Who was opposite beside him? Trinity, who was also shaved up too in her pod. And as he's getting scooped away, he notices that's Trinity. The bot that took him away scooped him away to Bugs' ship and is like, welcome to the real world again. And they kind of just skipped the whole thing with, the muscles being atrophied, being in the pod like that. Neo seemed to see pretty well. But of course he was, as far as I knew, was not well enough to be up and standing immediately. So they just plug him right back into the Matrix. Or the construct they had. And as a crib, as the new Morpheus puts it. He's all flashy again, like, yo, chill, dude. He's like, I know just what you need. And they begin to spar in this more or less similar dojo, but it's completely computered, just like the trailer. Literally begins with Keanu saying, I don't want to fight anymore. And Morpheus is like, you have to, for Trinity. And us as the audience, like, what? No. And Neo's like, you gotta say that harder. Proceeds to let this new Morpheus beat the snot out of him. Like, seriously, punch the living fucking shit out of him. I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish there, but they literally let this new guy punch the snot out of him. And he's all bleeding and shit already, and he's already fucking been in the Matrix for 60-odd years. What? So again, he does eventually say it harder, for Trinity! And he's like, no! And he does this new fucking move that he's got. You've seen it. It's the fucking hands with his face going. That's his cheat code move. It's yeah, like I said, cheat code move. It's literally a cheat code move. Remember when I said that this Morpheus is a program? Yeah. So this program is beating the crap out of Keanu in the sparring program. Oh yeah. By the way, remember when these movies had decent fight choreography? Remember when they actually had decent action? Remember when you were interested in what happened next? And the lore, you had to have it watch it a couple of times to kind of pick up oh, I didn't notice that. None of that's here. Freaking flashy, cut, chopped up bits. None of the actors look like they ever took an ounce of fucking fighting choreography in their life. Every time you see a person fighting another person, it's just this, that, kick, punch, and then all of a sudden a completely different angle that you saw beforehand. It's the winner giving the last, kick to the stomach away, and then away. So yeah, it ends with Keanu doing his face. Alright. So, in the Animatrix, there was a side story called Beyond, where these group of humans were chilling out on the surface, and they were kind of dealing with more or less how robots and humans can coexist. They were really delving into the intelligence and all that stuff. If you watch it, it's pretty interesting. There's a little bit that they got where they got a monkey that they call Baby, where Death Stranding fans probably lose their shit, and they're sitting there posted up looking for robots. They're looking for intelligent life forms that pop out of nowhere for them to drag back to their lair for them to tinker with. So as soon as they draw a pair, this chick brings the baby back to their lair, but they don't realize this one left the tracking beacon before they entered the lair to attract other ones, bigger ones that come and send backup. They go in there, the pair of intelligent robots, they're kind of flippy doodles. They got little tentacles on one side and little mandibles on the other. One of them figures out a trap, opens up the key. These robots coexist with them, sure, but the one smarter one ends up being with the one that was luring them. It's really kind of dark at the end. What I'm trying to say is, yes, there can be coexistation? I don't even know. But you have to be smarter than that. I mean, you can't just be so advantageous and even delve with it. What's the real kind of choice there? It's a trap no matter what. I don't know. Ideas, like I said, in the Animatrix that could have spawned a legion of side stories, but now they just kind of... The reason why I bring all this up and why you should check that out, an alternative, and they even bring it up in the other one as well, where machines and people do have a sort of symbiotic relationship. They talk about it in the second one too, with the freaking Chancellor or whatever, with Neo, saying, I don't understand how those machines work, I don't know how you work, but I just trust that they work, and they work for me, and I work for you. Like, shit like that. It was ideas. None of this was in this movie. None of these things that I'm babbling about are in this movie. I don't know if anyone even understands what I'm talking about here, but you have to kind of get where I'm getting at. The robots understood this, more so than humans did. And that's what the whole robot war was about. In my opinion, I guess, I should say. Right? Because I don't think this is what this movie's opinion was about. They completely crapped on the entire idea of humans and robots coexisting. The whole piece that Neo was trying to get at in the first place. Like, the Matrix can't be a bunch of swarms and shit, like how it was at the end of Revelations. If a program is too strong, how can you just let it be? You just can't. I'm going to get into this in a second. They're introduced to this new colony they have, Zion 2.0. It's called IO. Zion, so 2000 and late. This is so 3008. Who's running this place? Niobe. Yes, Morpheus' chick, who was hitched up with Locke, who was a complete stick in the mud. Remember him? Locke? Yeah. He had ideas, sure. He was just trying to run his fucking colony. He was a rather stick in the mud and didn't believe in Neo. As I imagine someone would. Understandable that someone in his position would be like that. Niobe being with him after leaving Morpheus in that movie made sense, especially when it came back full circle at the end when Neo was proven right. They even mentioned this. She says, I didn't believe in the one, I believe in Neo. Right when, at the very thing last year, she says, Neo, wherever you are, thank you. Nope, not this Niobe. She is completely different. Such a hardcore stick in the mud, just like Locke, if not worse, makes stupider decisions. And it's so silly because she never has one interaction with the new Morpheus. Not one. Not one word is spoken between this new program agent Morpheus and old Captain Niobe. It's what? She explains to Neo that when the Sentinels left at the end of the movies, she couldn't believe it. She was ready and posted every night thinking there's going to be war sirens and couldn't bear it until a couple months later, and she's like finally came to terms saying, okay, I guess I can sleep at night now thanks to Neo. And us as the audience, like, what? No. When in reality, anyone seen the movies knows that in Morpheus's arms, thanking Neo wherever he is, that he did what he promised. Now that she sees Neo again, what does she do? Takes him down to the graves of Zion. Anyone that was there had anything to do with it. They have a little monument to Morpheus. He was elected High Chancellor and was part of whatever. And he was so chuffed around that time where we are introduced to this concept of the robots going to war with themselves. What? That's interesting. That's Neato Burrito. Why couldn't we found out about more of that? Save for later? Is it going to be the fucking Matrix spin-off, side-off wars with Niobe? Nope. Far as Niobe is concerned, she was there, and she got out of there, and Morpheus was so convinced that Neo did what he did and left the robots do their thing, and that somehow doomed Zion, and they all died. That's right. Morpheus died in Zion doing God knows what. I really tried. I was watching twice. Like I said, I took notes. It was a part of the Robot Wars. He, like I died believing that Neo had him taken care of. So what does Niobe do to thank Neo? Locks him up in the blockade. She asks why they're keeping Trinity alive. He's like, I don't know. All because there's one of her precious strawberries that turned sour. Yeah, they figure out a way to photosynthesize strawberries and other edible blueberry matter. It's like, it's not even, what's the point of being out of the Matrix at that point? Oh, it's because they have a bunch of robots living with them. That's right, like I said, in the Beyond bit, like I said, they have a bunch of robots coexisting with them. Same thing here. So what does Neo do? What does Neo do to escape from this blockade with a bunch of robots around him who like revere him too? Like they know what he did, like they remember and shit. How does he get out? Well, if anyone remembers from Matrix 2 and 3, he could definitely control the robots. Remember? Like that was sort of like another existential thing. Like how can he control? Like what does he have? Like how does he have powers outside of the Matrix? So does he do any of that? Does he tap with any of that? Like the being outside of the Matrix, any of that? Nope. Not Morpheus comes up to show up and saves him. He like siphons his way through the shitter vent, and yeah, and he's like, now you're gonna sit here and be a dweeb, or you're gonna be a Chad and go save Trinity. Yeah. So Bugs takes them away in his ship, and they go and save Trinity in the Matrix. They look at her in the Matrix, and they're like, she reads like a total blue pill, bruh. Are you sure? Her? We like see glimpses, but I don't know. And then Neo's like, how did I read? And they're like a blue pill. So they go to scoop her up, right? Alright, here comes the big action scene. This is an ordeal, man. So, they go to where they think Trinity is. As they're walking up, one of the crew members behind them is like, literally, again, mocking the audience, being like, man, I can't believe this. I thought it'd be a little bit off because he looks so old with the hair and everything, beard, but I don't know, it seems he's kind of making it. Again, they had to have been mocking us by bringing that up. They literally were saying the hair and the beard on purpose. Well, like, is that why all the shit was? Was the shit with him shaved up and everything added in? So who pops up? It's not fucking Trinity. It's Smith, and he keeps fucking calling him fucking Tom. He's calling Neo Tom. He's just saying Tom. What? And he says inevitable too. It's just this isn't the same Smith. He didn't even try to be at all a Smith character. Neither did Morpheus. I mean, I guess Trinity was the closest thing to being a Trinity, but that's really not asking much out of her own character, and especially with the angle that they were going with in this film, I bet they really couldn't change much, besides her other persona being a mom. MILF, excuse me. So, he's really there to ambush them, of course. And who else is there? The Frenchman from Matrix 2 and 3. And he's covered in trash. He's literally covered in filth and shit. He literally starts Frenching at him. He starts Frenching the Frenchy French. It's really, like, that's definitely him. But it's, I don't know, man. Like, well. So they have a whole Royal Rumble. It's really hard. It's really hard to recount through this movie. It's almost like watching it a third time. If not harder, because I'm probably going through more effort talking about it than actually sitting down and watching the movie. It's so hard. I have to do it though. Like, I have to do this. Not only for myself, but for whoever may be watching. Because this is so unbelievable how they're really trying to shelve this as a legitimate film. And B+'s 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, both audience and tomato meter. 69 sex number. Are you shitting me right now? So they have a whole Royal Rumble. The WWF Royal Rumble, literally. Everyone's fighting each other. The Frenchman's Frenching at him. All these different exiles are crawling out of the windows, and they can't be killed with conventional bullets, so they gotta punch them up. Smith and Neo have this fucking lame-ass, chopped-up, lazy, choreographed fight scene, and it's so bad, and it's in this leftover set from wherever. It's supposed to look like, I guess, like the ending fight scene from the third movie, you know, the building that they were in, but with it looking fucking so generic, and them, like, fucking punching around it, it just looks so stupid, and it looks so fake, and they're punching, like, through bathroom stalls and stuff, and pretty sure the Terminator's gonna come through the other room with the Terminatrix and shove her ass through a fucking urinal. I don't understand what they were really trying to do with this movie. I don't understand what they were trying to do with these characters to make it seem like this is really, like, a concise thing. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that I literally cannot believe I am sitting here talking about how bad it is to myself, to you, whoever may be watching and listening, because it's so crazy that it could even be revered as a legitimate. I don't know if I should preface this in the first place. I don't mean anything against these actors that played these characters. I'm just going across how these characters are portrayed to us. And we are expected to just eat it up. It's not edible. Again, they have a fight scene in this weird, not believable location. They're punching around in it, and it's all falling apart around them in literal foam. You see the literal yellow foam bit falling through the slow motion bits as they're through it. It's so fake. It's so unbelievable. And Smith keeps calling him Tom. Like it's just not. Oh, and they keep cutting to the other movies. They keep cutting to the other fight bits between them. It's not even concise. It's like they're mocking us by putting the other movie in front of us, wanting us to go back. I almost want to. I already did watch all the movies. Like I said, I watched Animatrix right before watching this because I had to wait till 3 a.m. for it to come out on HBO Max. So, Keanu Reeves does a signature face to cheat and win out of every single almost encounter that he gets lost, and wins the fight with it, and walks up the staircase that's conveniently around the corner after the bug says Neo for the 3rd time. And then the Frenchman continues to French him for the very last time and says, "Frequel franchise spin-off!" And us as the audience, like, what? No, my stomach hurts. So you ready yet? This is where things get crazy. So, Keanu goes to Trinity and says, "Hey, by the by, I've been thinking about you a lot." She's like, "Yeah." It is revealed that MPH, as the analyst, is the architect of this new Matrix and has been pulling the strings this entire time and has been holding the two of them captive in this anomalium, apparently a resurrection tower that brought them both back to life after Frankensteining them back to life, realizing in that moment when he was doing it that it was the both of them together that activated the one source code. It was the power of love when they touched together, sort of more or less completing whatever kind of source code that made the one. Yeah, that's what MPH introduced in this scene, as he has Keanu Reeves and Trinity in this bullet time world that he thanks Keanu Reeves for coming up with. Bullet time! Again, giving credit to the bullet time, he says it, one word, bullet time. Moment where everything's all slowed down, Keanu Reeves can't move, forced to listen to MPH monologue, more or less like I am now, and is just rattling on about all of this. Forget the architect and the piece that he made with Neo. The Oracle, forget about her. She's long purred. Long purred. I guess in this is what caused the robot war? Can we get more context on what kind of expensiveness that this was made? Like, what's robot economy? If we remember anything from the Matrix, the robot machines were like excelling in any sort of productiveness. Like, they did not need anything. So what? The suits? Who's the suits that they were bringing up? They still have people in the Matrix, mind you. I don't want, like, this piece that they were talking about, there's still people in the Matrix. There's that symbiotic relationship still coexists. There's still people in the batteries, so to speak, in there that are dreaming up the Matrix, that are making up the power, that are doing all this stuff. The piece that was made was the Sentinels won't actively go after Zion. They won't actively go after people that were just trying to free people. And the people themselves wouldn't actively try to sabotage the world and just try to tell everyone that your life, your world isn't real, everyone revolt. Like, that was sort of like the idea. Like a coexist, that they were trying to, a real coexist. Nope, F all that. Architects out the window, bring in the analysts with Neil Patrick Harris eating up all the fur burgers, every single bit of scenery, chewing it all up, and then they just unplug. And then Niobe catches them, and they go back to Io. Bugs calls out Niobe for being sleepy. Yep. This is our Matrix movie. I would pay with it with my life if I saw it in theaters. Because they would have had to fucking kill me. Because I wouldn't shut up. Seriously, I could not stand to sit and watch this movie both times. I was seriously sitting here beside myself. Naomi's like, I told you I didn't believe in the one. And Neo's like, I know. I didn't either. Ugh. And us as the audience, like, what? No. But you did trust me one of your ships once. In reality, it was, I don't believe in the one, but I believe in you. God. Now we're introduced to Sati. Remember Sati from Matrix 3? She was a little girl, the daughter from the guy we saw a little bit from Matrix 2, but he was introduced in the second one to be this guy. He had a wife who was being safely traversed into the Matrix because he was exiled from the machine world for doing something. He's all grown up. She's in cahoots with Niobe. She's been helping her with her robot thing and also channeling some people. She knew that Neo and Trinity were in the Anomalium, the Resurrection Tower. Didn't tell Niobe all this time. She expressed her deepest concerns, of course, and that she's upset about it. She's sorry. But what? You think that'd be some pressing information to tell a human who may or may not know who the fucking one is and his girl, and you've apparently been like in his world. She's in the trailer. I'm pretty sure. Like she's like. They all hatch up a plan. Niobe turns on a dime, and it's like, I'm best friends with you guys now. Let's go save Trinity. And they go do that. Morpheus sneaks in to the robot city, gets to the pod where Trinity's being held. They need a second person there, an actual person, to hijack Trinity into while she's unplugged from the Matrix and then plugged back in. You gotta keep that connection live. So she's gotta be like, rah! That's when we see the trailer. Ah! Her in there, the Asian part. Ah! Yeah. Remember when going to the Machine City was a death trap? And apparently this is super guarded by 100,000 sentinels too. And when they did it the first time, it was only because they sneaked in. Now it's being actively guarded. Remember when they had to, they tried to go to the Machine City in the first place and there's this big, huge defense and it was literally unpassable? They had to go to the sky and when they came back down, they crashed down because they had lost control of their ship. It's just that easy, right? Because she's Bugs Bunny. Yep. So fucking Bugs just hops on the back of the fucking robo and just fucking rides them like a Treyu fucking never-ending story right to the heart of the Machine City in this fucking mausoleum. Do some shit to Trinity. Sati's there in holographic form doing fucking surgery on her head umbilical cord. It's meanwhile, while all this is happening, Keanu is having coffee with Tiffany while MPH is watching in the background with this whole entire robot army around him. Trinity's like, is this real? I played your game. And us as the audience like, what? No. No, you didn't. You didn't play the game. You played all three of them. I fucking... She watched someone on YouTube play it. Her son watched someone play YouTube on it, and she watched it with him. Oh my god. Then her family shows up in the middle of all the army people, and it's like, come on, you got a fucking Lego lodged in her eye this time. You gotta go save her. Turns back to Thomas, and is like, is this real? Chad's like, come on, Tiffany. And he's got his hand on her, like, come on, Tiffany. She's like, don't you fucking call me that shit ever again, motherfucker. Bitch slaps him. He turns into a robot. Fucking dies, I guess, because turns into a big old Royal Rumble again. The entire crew is there. Freaking the army is shooting everyone. They're shooting everyone. She shouts, Neo! And he's like, Trinity! Then the analyst does his bullet time shit again. Bullet time! Some fuck out reason, Trinity didn't have to take the red pill. How did she choose at that point? Is the red pill just like it's not like a part of the thing anymore? Like a tracer program? Like what's the point of the red pill? Is it really just a choice pill now? Is there no point of a pill? Is there a purple pill? Can you really go both ways? Can you take both? Can you take none? What's the point of the pill? Why is it not a part of this? What is the point of this movie? The analyst shows up and he's like, fuck this, stops time, bullet time! And I'm not gonna do this again, goes to kill Trinity, and then that's when Smith shows up, and he's all of a sudden Vegeta now, and he's on Neo's side, and he's like, not today, fucking shoots the analyst. And us as the audience, like, what? No, and things are okay. But right before the analyst, disintegrates, he activates swarm mode. So that means all the available bots in this Matrix world are swarming now toward their location. Good fucking grief. Do I even want to talk about this? Alright, so after the final Royal Rumble, the animal is shot in the head after he activates the swarm on their location. Agent Smith's like, can't be friends forever, and dips out. After that, Zeke tells them, hey, you gotta get the hell out of there. Something bad's coming. So they come out, and they see all the swarm coming, and they go to Neo, and they're like, hey, yo, it'd be a really good time if you flew right now. He's like, okay. So he's like, jumps up in the air, and doesn't, nope, not happening. Well, so much for that idea. After that, Trinity comes out of fucking nowhere and just with a motorcycle and is like, Neo, hop on! So he hops on, they dip and leave the heroes behind as they fend off the swarm, and they had that motorcycle chase scene that we see where Neo's doing his force push move again on everything that may or may not come in their path. And this is where something I was getting into earlier with the bots comes in. And this is really something I really don't like talking about because it was not pleasing visually to see at all. The bots are zombies in this point, right? But they're not necessarily introduced as such. Like, I guess they're under his control, but like, instead of agents, he says they're way better, but it's not better. It's not. It's grimmer, and it's not pleasing to see on screen. And I couldn't imagine of seeing this on the biggest screen from what this next scene is. As Neo and Trinity are racing through the Matrix, which doesn't at all look like the Matrix, by the way. Like, remember how the Matrix had kind of a look, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like a city, it kind of had like a feel to it. Especially the second one, like when they're in the grid city or whatever, and the highway. As they're fleeing the swarm and the cops and everything that's going around, the analyst decides, I don't know if he's still running the show or whatever he's doing, sends every single swarm, every single bot that's around on them in the city, literally every single one on them, even from the fucking buildings around them and the skyscrapers. There's like people in offices, people in their homes, people in their apartments, people in wherever, and they're just fucking catapulting out of the glass windows down onto the ground like dive bombs, trying to stop Neo and Trinity. From what? Just to kill them? It's really a hard sight to see, and it's really tough to envision again, just to describe, because it's so grim. And I've usually seen hard shit, and you know, I don't want to say I haven't batted an eye, but I don't know why this is hurting me so much. It's the way it's literally they just describe it as this. Fucking, I don't know if it was a character that we've seen before, but he's sitting there with his wife in bed reading a book. She's like, what's wrong, honey? And then he just fucking bots eyes and then runs right out of the fucking window, drops right down in front of them into a car, and they fucking force push their way out of it. It's just like, what the fuck am I watching? Is this Matrix, man? I don't like this. This isn't, it's my personal opinion, of course, but I loved the other movies when people didn't. I was not one of just the cool ones like, I liked it before. I wasn't one of the ones like the first one's the best. It was just like, they were good movies, fucking enough to watch them. So after that horrid scene, they escape through a building. Neo does the last thing for the trailer where he catches all the bullets. The heroes escape the zombies because Bugs jacks in one last time to save them at the last time with not Morpheus. Final standoff. Again, we see the trailer where they're on the rooftop and they're pushing missiles out of the way. They jump off the rooftop. Sorry, before they jump off the rooftop, I have to say this. Before they jump off the rooftop, the sun's coming up. Trinity's looking out, and she sees the glitchiness of the Matrix going on before, and she's like, beautiful! And us as the audience, like, what? No. And that's what she said when she saw the real Sky in the Matrix 3. Why would she say that quote when she saw the real Sky in the Matrix 3 before she died? That should have been like a much more reverent thing. Why? But is that like her making that? Is that what they're trying to say? Then Keanu and her have a kiss. They jump off the rooftop, trying to fly. And you know what happens? Do you know what happens? It's revealed that Trinity is the one. Yeah, they're trying to fly. They're holding hands. Neo falls short. He's like, what? And then Trinity's just like, oh shit, you need a hand? And us, the audience, like, what? No. She takes a look at the chopper that's chasing after him, and she's like, bye, and zooms off, bye. And then they are unplugged promptly. I'm double confirming, like, I'm looking down to make sure I'm double confirming that's what happened. Yes. That is exactly how that ends. That whole entire action scene ends. Trinity is revealed to be the one. She says bye to the helicopter that was chasing after him and carries Neo off, and we are presumed they are unplugged. Like, they are unplugged, they meet each other in the real world. She's all shaved down, he's all shaved down, and they kiss. That's the end of the third act. That's the resolution. Trinity is the one. It was always them. It was their connection. She wasn't even there at the final fight with Smith in Matrix 3. Not even in the same fucking realm. Was that what the tower that they crashed into? Was that the anomalium? Is that why the robots are so reverent around him? They revisit the analyst after this. She's all matrixed out in the glasses. He's in the same trench coat and sweatpants and shirt that he's wearing in the movie. They're here to take ass and kick names, and they're all out of bubblegum. I'll let you see that for yourself. Go ahead and watch the movie for yourself, and you watch that scene, and you tell me how you feel about that scene. With Neil Patrick Harris with his fucking jaw hanging off and slit throat, and you tell me how you feel about that movie. You make a fucking video that you never fucking did before, and you tell me how you fucking feel about this movie. You tell me right now. I want to hear it. I want to hear your opinion about this movie. Because I seriously made the time to fucking make this. I don't care if it's gonna get fucking whatever. Because what film ends with them flying off into the sky like Superman and Supergirl to a horrible cover of Rage Against the Machine, Wake Up, by a parent band called Brass Again. It's a girl lead singer, and I got my wish. It was a Rage Against the Machine song that ended. They didn't do it for the third movie because they already had a slam dunk soundtrack for the fight, but they had a plethora of already licensed songs because Warner owns the fucking. Instead, they chose to watch this instead of seeing anything else again. And I made this for me and you. The after credit scene is just as fucking laughable. If you actually sat down in the theaters and watched the entire bit of credits, good for you, because you were blessed with one of the worst after credit scenes of all time. I would have rather seen some fucking logo that would have been like, what the fuck kind of logo is that? I've never seen a production logo like that, instead of what we were graced with this after credit scene. Do you want to know what it is? You can fucking Google it if you want, I'm sure, because it's, like I said, the greatest fucking after credit scene of all time. You ready for it? Here it comes. It's the same fucking elaborate bit spin-off bullshit when they're trying to figure out how to do the Matrix 4. They're like, nah, forget all that. People don't care about all that. You just want active simulation every time? Cat video. Check it. We're gonna call it the Catrix. Meow. And us, the audience, like, what? No. What the hell are we doing making movies like this? What the fuck are we taking the piss out of if we're really expected to sit down and eat this shit? What? It's got me really thinking, because is anything original anymore? Is there anything gonna be of semblance of originality soon? I hope I'm alive to fucking see it. I hope putting this out doesn't fucking crucify me, because shit, dude, like, this is laughable. It hurts to really sit down and dissect something like this, because I never really thought in my life I could ever do something like this. I mean, maybe to a few things, but just seeing everything around me just seems so wrong. I had to at least say something. I couldn't just sit here with my mouth shut. So I thank you, dear viewer, whoever you may be, to actually sat down and watch this. I hope you put your opinions in the comments, and you have at least seen what I am talking about, which may or may not be the Matrix 4, 3, 2, 1 Animatrix. And yeah, again, take care, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and please be blessed.